In the vast, sun-scorched expanse of the American Southwest, a colossal monument to human ambition rises from the Black Canyon, holding back the mighty Colorado River. This is the Hoover Dam. A structure so immense it was once called the eighth wonder of the world, but its story is far more than just concrete and steel. It's a tale of desperation, ingenuity, sacrifice, and the profound, often unforeseen, consequences of taming one of nature's most powerful forces. Let's rewind to the 1920s. The American West was a land of extremes. The Colorado River was both a lifeline and a menace. For centuries, its unpredictable floods would devastate farmland and communities downstream. While in drier times, water was desperately scarce. California's Imperial Valley, a burgeoning agricultural hub, was particularly vulnerable. Farmers and politicians alike dreamed of a way to control the river, to harness its power for irrigation and growth. Then came the Great Depression, the stock market crash of 1929 plunged the nation into economic despair. Millions were jobless, homeless, and hopeless. It was in this bleak landscape that the Boulder Canyon Project, as it was then known, transformed from a bold idea into a symbol of national resilience. It wasn't just about building a dam, it was about building hope. In 1931, the U.S. government gave the green light. The project was awarded to a consortium of 6 major construction companies, aptly named 6 Companies, Inc. But where would the workers live? The desert offered nothing. So, they built an entire city from scratch, Boulder City, Nevada. It was a planned community, a stark contrast to the chaotic shanty towns that often sprung up around major construction sites. Thousands of men, desperate for work, flocked to the barren Nevada desert. They came from every corner of the country, bringing their families and their few belongings. The pay was relatively good for the time, but the conditions were brutal. Summer temperatures in the Black Canyon could soar to 120 degrees Fahrenheit. The work was relentless and incredibly dangerous. Imagine dangling hundreds of feet above the canyon floor on a simple rope seat, drilling into sheer rock faces with a heavy jackhammer. These were the high scalers, the daredevils who cleared the loose rock to create a smooth surface for the dam. They faced constant risks from falling rocks, equipment failure, and heat exhaustion. The official death toll for the project stands at 96. But many believe the true number is higher when you include deaths from heat stroke and pneumonia, which weren't always officially linked to the construction. The workers' camp, nicknamed Ragtown, was a testament to their initial hardship before Boulder City was fully ready. The engineering challenges were unprecedented. Before a single drop of concrete could be poured, the Colorado River itself had to be diverted. This was achieved by blasting for massive tunnels, each 56 feet in diameter, through the solid rock walls of the canyon. It was a monumental task in itself. Then came the concrete. The Hoover Dam is not a single, solid block. If it were, the chemical heat generated by the curing concrete would have taken over a century to cool, and the structure would have cracked into pieces. Instead, engineers devised a brilliant system of interlocking concrete columns. A network of over 582 miles of steel pipes was embedded within the concrete, circulating icy river water to dissipate the heat. It was a race against time and chemistry. In just 2 years, from 1933 to 1935, workers poured over 3.25 million cubic yards of concrete, enough to pave a highway from San Francisco to New York City, on September 30, 1935. 2 years ahead of schedule. President Franklin D. Roosevelt dedicated the dam. He called it a great achievement of American resourcefulness, American skill and determination. It was a moment of immense national pride. The project that began in the depths of the Depression was now a shining beacon of progress. The benefits were immediate and transformative. The dam created Lake Mead, the largest reservoir in the United States at the time, capable of holding to full years of the Colorado River's flow. This tamed the river's floods, protecting downstream communities and farms. The steady, reliable supply of water fueled the explosive growth of agriculture in California and Arizona. And then there was the power. The 17 massive hydroelectric generators in the dam's powerhouse began turning, sending electricity across the desert to power the burgeoning cities of the Southwest. Los Angeles, in particular, owes much of its 20th century expansion to the cheap, abundant power generated at Hoover Dam. It literally lit up the West. But this triumph of engineering came with a cost, a side of the story that is often overlooked. The creation of Lake Mead submerged ancestral lands of Native American tribes, including the Paiute people, altering their way of life forever. It also fundamentally changed the river's ecosystem. Downstream, the once wild and sediment-rich Colorado became a clear, cold, and controlled channel. The natural flooding that once replenished deltas and wetlands ceased. This had a devastating effect on habitats, particularly the Colorado River Delta in Mexico, which was once a lush, vibrant wetland and is now mostly a salty mudflat. Fish species adapted to the warm, muddy river struggled to survive in the cold, clear water released from the depths of Lake Mead. Furthermore, the dam set a precedent for water allocation in the West that is still debated today. The Law of the River, a series of agreements that divide the Colorado's water among 7 states and Mexico, was based on full measurements from an unusually wet period. This overallocation, combined with decades of drought and climate change, has now led to a critical situation. Lake Mead and its downstream counterpart, Lake Powell, have shrunk to record low levels, threatening the water and power supply for millions of people. The very symbol of control over nature is now at the mercy of it. So, what is the legacy of the Hoover Dam? It is undeniably a masterpiece of human ingenuity that helped pull a nation out of despair and fueled the growth of the American West. It provides clean energy, controls floods, and supplies water to millions. But it's also a cautionary tale. It's a story of unintended environmental consequences, of social costs borne by workers and native peoples, and of the complex challenges that arise when we try to bend the natural world to our will. The Hoover Dam isn't just a massive wall of concrete, it's a complex, multifaceted symbol of our past. And a critical lesson for our future as we continue to balance human needs with the health of our planet. Thanks for watching. If you found this journey into the history of the Hoover Dam interesting, please give this video a like. And subscribe for more deep dives into the stories behind our world. See you next time.